Izamairu Exofighters, FiOth here, and in this video we'll be taking an in-depth look at Murasame, the dedicated Bruiser of EXOPRIMAL. Unlike other tanks, Murasame can actually get in there and destroy the enemy, but in order to do so he must rely on more than just slicing and dicing with his impressive Nodachi. We have to understand that it's a very combo reliant EXO, and there is a skill ceiling when it comes to how you can optimally utilize his potential. I'm gonna break down his abilities, then suggest some combinations, and then we'll also provide an idea of which rigs work and which don't, so you can make an informed decision. Let's start with the basics. His basic attack combo is Kiri Ichimonji. It's a 6-hit combo that comprises of 5 inputs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, it resets and you can perform it once again from the start. It deals decent damage to both dinos and players, but although the swing arc is huge and you can cover a lot of ground around you in order to kill the horde, optimally disposing of enemies is not relying on this attack by itself. So this is just, let's say, supplementary in order to finish off opponents, but don't expect it to kill the big ones. When it comes to the big ones, Murasame is uniquely equipped to cause tremendous damage if he plays his cards right. His second ability, Crescent Moon, is an on-demand release radial attack that will force every dino around him to target him aggressively. So this is how you draw aggro with this specific Bruiser. Just getting the aggro on you is not gonna be very effective because even a small pack of raptors can kill you easily in this game. What you wanna do after you draw their aggro is use his R1 ability, the Vajra counter. This has two outcomes. One is that you will block a certain amount of damage and you will be kept safe, also guarding the player behind you when it comes to the relation with the incoming trajectory. If you take a lot of damage though, the scenario changes drastically. So I'm gonna demonstrate the best possible outcome here in slow motion. We use Crescent Moon and then activate Vajra counter. We wait for the raptors to attack. As soon as we reach a certain damage threshold, we press the attack button. It deals extreme damage and then also buffs the Nodachi for extra damage for a specific duration. So not only do you decimate the opposition with this, but you are also getting a buff that will last after the encounter is done. So as you saw, the Vajra counter can deal devastating damage, clear pretty much everything around you, and since the numbers you've been seeing are indicative of what will happen to EXO fighters as well, they will not be ready for this kind of retaliation. As people learn to play the game, they will learn how to go around the Vajra counter, but a momentary lack of attention can lead to a person getting slashed in the face for a huge amount of damage. Learning how to optimize the Vajra counter is integral, and it's what will differentiate the newbies from the expert players when it comes to playing Murasame. His final non-super ability is the Strafe Hook. The Strafe Hook fires a, well, hook that will not go into cooldown if it doesn't hit anything, but if it hits anything at all, be it a player or the ground, will pull Murasame, giving you two options. One is to transition into a secondary jump to reposition, and the second one is to go into a rotating slash that will hit multiple times, slamming the Nodachi to the ground and causing aerial damage in the end. Like so. Very, very effective and can deal quite a bit of damage, granted all those slashes hit the same target. So very, very effective for killing bigger enemies with larger hitboxes or moving very, very close to a cluster and unleashing it there when you are optimally positioned. Now let's talk about the best rigs Murasame can use and what he shouldn't use. Cannon is always good for the PvE phase. It will help you clear clusters of raptors, give you some medals in the process, speed up the extermination process. It's okay, it's fine. aid can create a little puddle of healing at your feet, so if you're caught out of position or surrounded by a plethora of dinos, this can actually keep you alive in the fight whilst the Vajra counter is refreshing. The thing is, Murasame has 700 HP available to him as a health pool, and this will not really heal that big of an amount. It's a supplementary tool, but when we can have such better options, I would not really suggest this. Shield is good for exos that don't have defensive options. Murasame pretty much has the best counter offensive option in the game, the Vajra counter, so having this at your arsenal is pretty limiting. You want to take those hits, you want to tank those hits to unleash the counter, so this is not a very good choice for him. Blade is good for CC on rigs that want to slow down the enemy dinos in order to take them out like Zephyr. But with Murasame, you want them to attack you, you want them to be in your face, trying to cause damage to you. So slowing them down or debilitating them is not the best idea. Drill Fist is very respectable, the damage is good, and the stun as well, but you have to dedicate a lot of time to charge it and then stay in one place whilst you're drilling them, if you know what I mean. So no, I wouldn't really say this takes the cake. The best one for Murasame by far is Catapult, and I'm gonna demonstrate just one of the whys. Let's say you're in the PvP phase at the end of a mission and you are beside the enemy team, hiding in an elevated position or in an alley. Whilst they don't expect you, you can reposition yourself, charge your super, and hurt them really, really bad. Now, Murasame's super is in a league of its own. It causes extreme damage, as you just saw, but it has a little caveat. The more you charge it, the stronger it will be. So if you charge it all the way, it will be devastating. If you don't, it will hurt, but not as much. Whilst you're charging, you're not actually blocking. That is a misconception. It will also not hurt enemies around you, but only in front of you in a specific corridor. I'm gonna demonstrate. I have a dummy beside me that will be unscathed by the end of the execution. So these poor fucks are dead, but this one is totally safe. The damage is extreme. It will pretty much insta-gib most of the enemies in the game, excluding the huge dinos, and the range is very respectable as soon as you know how to designate your targets. They will be encased in a red hue, and every single unit that is encased in that red hue is gonna be sliced and diced. Now that we have a certain understanding of how Murasame works, let's go into some gameplay and enjoy the results of our labors. Here, as you can see, we're fighting a Carnotaurus, an enemy with a huge health pool. I get smacked around a bit, then I activate the Vajra, and I kill 2 Gas Neosaurus, taking away a chunk of the Carnotaurus' health, buffing the Nodachi, waiting for the Swarm to come, another Vajra, and now the damage is even more extreme, cleaning both the swarm of smaller dinos and the Gas Neosaurus. Another demonstration of the Annihilation module on the Broken Bridge. And here is a nice flank at the Hammer objective in the PvP phase, as I described, where I just get behind the enemy formation, activate the overdrive, and take 2 of them out in one application, including a bunch of dinos, scoring a double down. Hope you like this, people. I'm covering everything in EXOPRIMAL, uploading gameplay daily. Sub, like, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, stay shiny, shiny like chrome. Cheers!